North Korean troops no longer seen on front lines fighting Ukraine. Here's everything you need to know in just a couple minutes. North Korean troops have not been seen on the front lines fighting Ukraine in about 2 weeks. Now, the Ukrainians have described them as fierce warriors, absolutely fierce warriors. So it's not a measure of cowardice or a lack of willingness to fight. But when you have 11,000 people just kind of up and disappear, that's not a good sign, and it's fairly noticeable. The North Korean troops were wearing Russian uniforms, and they were given like Russian credentials, so it's not 100% easy to figure out which ones we're looking at here. But when they don't speak any Russian, that's generally, that's a pretty good giveaway, I'd say. What has caused the North Koreans to be moved off of the front lines? Well, it's heavy casualties. Very heavy casualties. And it's from two assessed reasons. One, disorganization in their ranks. Now, we all had our skepticism about the level of training of North Korean troops. We did. And it sounds like they lack discipline. Sergeant majors everywhere are absolutely punching the air. For those of you that don't know, because you weren't in the military, a sergeant major is the worst human being you've ever met in your life. I'm just kidding. Okay, put your pitchforks down. You won't fight me anyway. Now, sergeant majors are the backbone of the NCO Corps, all right? The Corps of non-commissioned officers. And the non-commissioned officers are the ones that instill discipline and make sure that service members are trained. The other element of this is a lack of cohesion with Russian units. Any military operation, no matter how small, is incredibly complex. More complex than you can understand unless you've been part of one or that I have time in this video to explain. It is hellaciously complex. And when you add large scale, like tens of thousands of troops into the mix, and oh, by the way, an element of those troops don't speak the same language, you have an absolute recipe for disaster. That is going to be extremely difficult to work through. These two factors have driven up North Korean casualties and caused those elements to be pulled off of the front lines. Now, there's a lot of things that these North Korean elements can and probably will do behind the scenes, in the rear area, so to speak, of the battle space.